Hello, everyone. This is Nicole Robinson coming to you again with another episode of Meet the Mustangs. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Jason Burnett-Harrell, number 8 of the Connecticut Mustangs. So how you doing today, Jason?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You know, I'm trying to get out there and enjoy some of this nice weather, but I heard it was
Yeah,
really hot, so I don't know yet.
it's humid. It's real humid. I'm out here working out.
I know I see your beautiful background. Makes me jealous right now. But so before I ask any questions about football, let me just ask you, how are you handling yourself during this pandemic? You know, this is a really crazy time that I'm pretty sure none of us thought we would be ever living through. So how are you handling it, and how has it affected you and your family?
To me, it hasn't never really affected my family because we kind of like we do everything we normally do. Everyone goes to work. We still spend time. We still have cookouts. It's like really nothing has changed for us, but we just stay to each other like we've been have. So it hasn't really affected us as far as that aspect. But as me, it just gave me a time to, try to do more than just stick to a 9 to 5. I want to start investing in myself, start, doing my own brand as far as like working out because I like to train. I do a lot of training with because I coach kids as well. So I do a lot of training like that. So it's time to just it gave me time to put more into myself more than anything. So
Yeah.
I actually enjoy the pandemic, to be honest.
You sound a little bit like me. It just gave me, it actually, I don't talk about it often, but it gave me a chance to like pick up another job on top of the job I have. So financially, it kind of worked out for me a little bit. And I'm a little bit busier, but it's still like I'm able to just do a lot of things. And I mean, my daughter, her school never actually closed, so I was able to still send her
Um,
to school, and she was still able to do that stuff. So that's, I mean, like, you sound a little bit like me, like it helped you in a little bit of a positive way, even though it's,
right.
you know, such a negative thing that's happening to the world. But you know, we all get affected by it differently. So, you know, I'm happy to hear that you're able to focus on yourself, though, a little bit more, because that's really important.
Yes, it definitely is.
So, how about you just start with telling me about where you're from, like, you know, where you grew up, how your childhood was, the things that you liked to do when you were younger, things like that.
Um, I grew up. We grew up. I grew up. Was it Exit 8, like around that area, the Eastern Circle. And it was the projects, but my mom never let it. Like, she never made it feel that way because
Hmm.
we always had more than everyone else. In a sense, like in-house stuff. So it's like, all our friends would come over. Everyone wanted our snacks. You know what I mean? And we always had a bunch of friends because we all have our own group of friends. Because I come from a family of 9, but it's 8 boys,
Wow.
so it's a bunch of us. So it's like, everyone has their own separate friends as well as mutual friends. So everyone is always at our house. We always had the biggest house, so everyone always came to us. And let's see, um, me personally, growing up, I've always been like a quiet, non-spoken kid out of all my mom. And then my brother, which everyone knows plays on the team, Justin, he's like the loud, outspoken one. So it always gave me like the chance to be in the shadow and just go unseen, but just to walk away, like get
Yeah.
through without being seen. So it was perfect. So growing up, I never really had to like be outspoken, which was good for me because it kind of my element. But as I got older, like joining the team and playing football, it gave me a chance to like get emotions out, get like what I mean, get a lot of stuff out. So that was like the outlet. Sports in general, baseball, football, we did track, basketball. We did kind of everything growing up together. So then we signed up for like leagues, Pop Warner and stuff like that. We were almost like better than other kids, but no one
Hmm.
ever knew us because we
Yeah.
just always played with each other. So that's kind of how growing up went. We always had our own clique of us, but then we had our own clique of friends as well. So we're kind of known now. I'm kind of known, so it's cool.
You know, it's funny because interviewing your brother already and, you know, asking him the same question, you guys kind of sort of similar, have the same similar answers, especially
Uh-huh.
about your mom. Like, he's very the same thing. He's like, you know, your mom never really wanted you guys to have to struggle and stuff like that. And he talked
Right.
highly of you guys as brothers. And it's just, it's funny because you guys are twins, and it's like, even though you didn't, you weren't there for his interview and he's not here for your
Right.
interview, you guys kind of said the same thing,
Right.
regarding your family. So that's pretty good. And like I told him, it's nice that even though you guys have like you said, it's 8 boys or something like that. It's
Yeah.
that, first of all, that's a lot of boys, a lot of boys. But it's one of those things where you guys always know that you have somebody like watching out for you and stuff like
Oh,
that. Of course, you guys are gonna bicker because you're family, but at the end
right.
of the day, it's love. And he feels the same way. So that's a really good thing. It's like that twin connection you guys got going
Yeah.
on.
No one really notices, but I, I'm harder on him than anybody else. So when people see me yell at him, it's not because, like, you know what I mean? People, like, I talk to him like I would, and I wouldn't talk to nobody else because, like, I expect a lot out of him as well as he expect a lot out of me. So
Yeah.
if someone wants to see me get out of character, it will only probably be with him. That's probably it.
Well, that's good. It's like you guys, like you said, you guys expect the best out of each other. And I think like
Right.
you yell because you know that he can give it more, or he knows you
Right.
can give it more. So, that's one of those things. Same thing with me and my family members. Like when I'm slacking on something, it's like they know I could do it. So they get on my behind and they're like, you don't need to be lazy, but it happens.
Right.
So let me ask you, because I know both of you guys said the same thing too, like you guys play sports a lot and you did a lot of activities. But when do you feel like, like what age would you say you felt like you fell in love with football? Like just actually playing that game and you knew that maybe that's something that you wanted to stick with?
Honestly, I've always loved watching it, but until I started playing, I say not until I got to college.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Got to college, I didn't like. I just played it because I knew I was kind of good at it. I was fast, but I didn't really understand football. I just played it because I used to play it backyard football with my friends or my brothers. So in high school, I wasn't really that player. I was just on the team. So, and it made it worse because I didn't speak that much. So it was like I always went unseen. So it was
Yeah.
like, he here. Oh, pick him up. Like, all right, cool. Like, but in the roost of my friends, I was comfortable. So I would be more open, more, you know what I mean? But yeah, not until college until I started like watching film more, like really studying football when I started falling in love with it.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I didn't
What
feel like I peaked until college.
what college did you go to?
I went to Mercer. Mercer is like a junior college almost, but we played. The students went to Mercer. The student athletes went to Mercer, but we played at a program called Gattaca.
Okay.
It was in Trenton, New Jersey, and it was cool. It was cool. It was a different environment. It was like basically living where I come from, but in another state. I've never seen like so to like be raised in like poverty neighborhoods, to go there and see it as somewhere else is like, oh shoot, like this is real. So
Yeah.
it was, I was comfortable more than other people. And I was on the team. Me and my other brother, we played there, and it was cool. It wasn't that bad. Like as I got to learn the game more, like I said, it started to like help me out. So I started falling in love with working out, and then that's what made it like over the top. So
I hear you. So after college, right? What made you try out for the semi-pro league? Was it just because like you said, you fell in love with it in college and you want to pursue it, or is it just something that you came home and you said, I have some free time, let me just,
um,
join this league?
it was probably I moved to Florida when I turned 21, 2021. I moved to Florida, just up and left. I wanted to like, grow up and mature more mentally. So, I felt like being away from my mom, which cause she's always like sheltered us in a sense.
Hmm.
So that was like the biggest step for me to be out of my element. So once I got there, go to school at Valdosta State and Florida Tech, which is like the best Division II schools in the nation. But
Okay.
I didn't get in, so it kind of like pushed me to, all right, I got to work out, I got to be better, I got to do this, and then I found a semi-pro team in Bradenton, Florida. That's where I lived, and they were like the best team out in the South. So to me, it's like if I could practice with them and I could run with them, then I could run with anybody. So like that's when I kind of like started playing. I met some people that like at the gym and they were like, "Yo, we got a semi-pro team, blah blah blah. You should come by." And then it was history after that. I kind of played there for a
Oh.
year and then moved back up here.
Okay, so being that you played in Florida, and you came back here, when you came back to Connecticut, was your brother already playing for the semi-pro team here, or is that something that you
Yeah,
guys joined
yeah.
together?
He was already playing. Like he played at around the same time I started playing out there.
Okay.
Yeah, when I came here, it was kind of like I already was spoke of. Like, oh, my brother played down there, and then I came up here, so I kind of like got welcomed quick to a team.
Oh,
So yeah.
nice, nice. So, how many years have you been playing one semi-pro ball together, even with your years in Florida? And then how many years have you been on the Mustangs?
Uh, I've been playing. What? It'll be this year. I make 6 years playing total semi-pro, and this would be my. I've been here since the Mustangs were the Ravens, so I've been here all years.
Yeah, a lot of the people that I've talked to so far have been coming over from when it was Ravens to now
Yeah.
Mustangs. Yeah. So you've been playing 6 years total. How many years do you feel like you have left in you to continue playing the semi-pro league?
To be honest, I had like a real bad injury last year, so like
Oh,
yeah, so I owed it to myself to play again this year. So
okay.
if the year goes right, we win, go undefeated, and I feel good. Like as far as my body, I'll probably play like another 2 more years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had to get
I
that,
got
you know
I
what,
got
I
to get the
gotta.
footing. I got to
Okay,
get
I
the
hear that. Well, I will say that most of the people that I have been speaking to, they keep saying the same thing, that they got to get the ring, they got to get the ring,
yeah.
and I
That's all.
keep telling them, speak it into existence, and it shall happen. You know.
Good.
Exactly. What position do you play for the team?
Um, I played defensive tackle. Well, I kind of play the whole defensive line because I kind of know all the techniques, but mainly defensive tackle.
Okay, and exactly what does a defensive tackle do?
Uh, the actual definition of a defensive tackle is basically clog up the middle, stop everything from coming in the middle, run stopping. But I can do way more than that, so it's kind of easy for me. That's why I'm
Okay.
kind of like placed all over. I'm
Okay.
placed all over the defensive line. Yeah.
Yes. So with the defense, that means you're like stopping the ball from the other
Yeah.
team, right? So
Yes.
exactly, because I know like the linebackers, they gotta kind of be like, big in size and stuff like that. Exactly how big are you? Like how tall and stuff like that
Uh,
are you?
I'm I'm actually small to be a defensive tackle. I'm only 5'9.5", but
Wow.
I weigh 270. But I'm fast on my feet, so because I've always played like other positions. I play like slot receiver growing up, defensive back. So I got fast feet from training, but I just grew a bigger body. So it was like, well, I'm comfortable with the bigger body. I'm gonna just play down here, and but I can play like I used to play in front of my brother, which makes it easier for him. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like that twin telepathy going on the field.
Exactly. Who's bigger out of your brother, you or him?
In size, I'm bigger, but he's like a half an inch taller than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably quicker though. You're probably quicker.
In long running, he's faster, but I'm like short distance, I'm way quicker.
Sometimes that's more important. You got to get away quick so you'll get away faster.
That's all I need is that.
Exactly. So let me ask you, besides for the love of playing football, what do you wish to get out of playing with the Mustangs?
Um, Honestly, everything I wanted to get out of it, I felt like I already achieved. Um, I got a chance to network a lot with other people, like more positive people like Leroy and Deshaun, and get to basically become more vocal, become more outspoken, become more of instead of being like that silent leader, become like an actual, a figure for the team, like, someone that the coaches and players can, depend on. And also just get in shape. That's kind of what it's all about. Being
Yeah.
healthy. There's no other shape called shape. So
Yeah, I hear
that's
that. I
kind of what
hear that. I hear that. That's good, you know, because a lot of people they just want to do sports or do be a part of organizations for selfish reasons. But you know, like you said, it basically benefited you so that it can set you up with some positive people. And you know, not for nothing, when we first were scheduling the interview, one of the first things you said to me was, "Well, I don't really talk much. I don't really talk much, but you're doing great. Like I don't
I'm
even
trying.
see
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I don't see why you thought it was going to be an issue because your interview is really good."
I'm
Um,
trying. I'm trying.
so let me ask you, besides football, what else occupies your time? Like, I don't know, like, are you married? Do you have a girlfriend or kids? Any other
Uh,
hobbies?
I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have any kids.
They
Work
don't
out.
rush that. Don't rush that.
No, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. But outside of football, I do a lot of I coach. I fell in love with coaching because I knew in a few years I'm not gonna want to play anymore. So
Yeah.
I gotta be around it. So coaching kids. I also do a lot of speed and agility training on the side as well as like personal training with people. Like I do
Hmm.
training. I'm actually here at the park now. What else? I write like a lot of stuff down, like not poetry, but just write how I feel with everything. So that was mainly that's mainly me. I like to read, write. Working out is like a big thing, and also bowling. Bowling is like my best hobby.
Oh wow. Okay. I could bowl, but I'm not that great.
Oh yeah.
So with some of the stuff that you're writing, have you ever thought about getting anything published, or are you just writing for like your
Just
personal
writing for
stuff?
personal, yeah, like
Okay.
personal.
Okay. So just my last question for you today. What is next for you? Like once you decide, okay, football is done, what is that next step that you feel like you're gonna do?
Um, go back to school, become a strength and conditioning coach, like physically, like an actual coach, so I can get a degree and work for like a team or a school, and maybe one day have a girlfriend. That's really it. To be honest, I don't really I don't know. I don't really place the time. I just kind of go
Yeah.
a day by day person, but I know that's like the long term thing. So once I finish knocking down these short term and intermediate goals, that's like the prize. But until then, I'm just having fun with my intermediate and short term goals.
Well, that's what it's all about, doing what you got to do, having fun while you're doing it and striving toward them long-term goals.
Hmm.
So is there anything else you'd like to add to this interview? Anything that you want people watching to know about Jason Burnett-Harrell?
Me, I want people to know that I'm definitely coming back way better than I've been last year. I had a decent season, a great season I was having. And the injury I had, it was basically like a thing where you're not supposed to play anymore. I think Deshaun had the same kind of injury, but
Hmm.
basically like, yo, I don't know how you're playing, but I want to play. So I want everyone to know that I'm determined to be great no matter what. And also, I don't really know. I'll just look forward to another season. Hopefully, if it happens, all this pandemic stuff is over. And I just want everyone to keep their hopes high. And sky's not the limit. It's past the sky. You keep going, and you just never give up on yourself. Never let no one tell you different. That's it.
Exactly. Well, there you guys have it. And this concludes another episode of Meet the Mustangs. I would like to thank you today, Jason, for taking your time out and speak with me. And you guys heard him. The sky is not the limit, so keep pushing. And this concludes Meet the Mustangs with Jason Burnett-Harrell, number 8 of the Connecticut Mustangs.